Hello friends, I am reporting to you live from the Squeeze Box here, the little studio where I put my skateboard wood in the presses. I'm loading you guys up in a tripod. And Richard Rowe, I was thinking about you today. Welcome Charlie, welcome to the feed. I'm putting you guys on a tripod right now, and I am here in the shop, about to run a pack of 3 into the presses, and I thought this is probably a good time for us to have a conversation together. Kyle Green, yo, Luke Coffee, did you get your box yet, man? You should have that box, dog. That box should be there a long time ago now. Better check that shipping. You message me if your box didn't get to you yet, because I sent a loaded box out to you. Jacob Berryman, guess what? I got some mail from you. Yeah, good. All right, so loading up the press. Great day today. I got my truck back from the shop. Jason Wren. Well, let's start with Jason Wren. Jason, I've got a box for you that is, I've been adding to it, and I've been dilly-dallying. Lou Statman, good to see you. I'm going to show you what's in Jason's box. So I'm adding to this box 2 of my what I call the prototype. So I need to make sure we don't leak a certain thing. So I'm going to check. This, as far as I know, is for Bryce. It is a Never Was shape with dragons on it. This one was a second because I accidentally drilled 1 hole wrong on a previous batch. Don't do that a lot, usually in a pretty zen place. And I have these. I went ahead and drilled the other one. No, I guess I drilled both of them wrong. That's what I did, and I caught that. And then I putty filled those. This is going to Bryce to destroy. And then I've got, let me just make sure. Okay, then I've got another Never Was shape, and then I've got a Knucklehead. So these are Mr. Bryce's decks. This is Mr. Wren right here, and Knucklehead. And then I've got either a wall hanger or not, but this is for Mr. Wren as well. It is a Punk Point. And got something a little special on the other side of a couple of those. So Jason gets all the good stuff. And here's why, Luke Coffee. Because Jason Wren does so much work for Fickle boards. Jason Wren is if I had to point at one person, there's not one, there's Bryce Miller and the Dvorsky family, Howard Dvorsky, Tracy Parker. All these folks are the reason why I'm able to take my trips to skate with my friends who ride my work. Now I've got 2 more or 3 more decks going into this box before I'm done. On some of these new graphics, 1 to hang, 1 to bang is a concept. Jason Wren is, yes, I love this thread of comments here. Then I have another box here that's headed to someone in a city whose initials are KC. And it has 2 beautiful boards, 1 to hang and 1 to bang in it. And then I've got 6 more decks trimmed and ready to go here, and I've got 3 in the press and 3 curing right now. I'll be running another, oh boy, and I'm in the last push before I leave on Tuesday coming for the Tampa Pro meetup for the Welfare Line Skateboard Collectors, aka the Tampa Bro. I've got 9 boards still to finish in the queue, and I've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 boards in graphics right now, in addition to these. And dear friends, I have to tell you, I work all alone in this little workshop, and I'm not an unhappy person in the larger. I've also got a box for Chad Crawford. His boards are in here. I've got Colin Weir has got a few boards in the mix here, I've got a board going to Connecticut that is getting wheel wells on it, and that one is going to have to wait. I'm going to be contacting that customer. I don't know. I'm going to try to get it done before I leave. But I've been working on my wheel well concept, and I'm not really liking it. Want to get that right. I've got a box for Mike Vieser going out, ready to go. I still am chipping away on getting graphics finished, burned. I'll be emulsifying screens tonight down in the hole. And Frank Porcelli, good to see you with me. And anyway, I'm going to roll some glue here. Woo, you guys fell over. What are you doing, guys? Who's drinking out there? Somebody's drinking out there because you guys fell over like a, I don't know, one-armed man in a something kicking something concept. Yeah, you guys having fun? Sorry, Kyle. The board I sent Bryce is sick. I don't know which one you mean, Jason. Oh, the one that Frank sent Bryce. Yeah, Frank Porcelli's work is dope. The good kind. And, all right, it's time to roll glue. So, I'm over here. Let's see, oh, you can see me. That's nice. And been thinking a lot lately about the road to Tampa. Every year it's a complete zoo, getting down there, getting back in February and early March. My strategy this year has changed. Last year I employed an incremental return strategy. This year I am employing a strategy of if it is too cold, rainy, or bad weather to ride all the way home, I am going to wait in Florida. So I'm not going to do what I did last year. That was a mess. Which was, I was down there and I rode from one part of Florida to another, and the weather was real cold. It was particularly cold in early March last year. And then I rode, just before Bike Week started, I rode out from Florida to Savannah, Georgia. It was particularly cold and also became very rainy. I ride in the rain, but I do not like to ride in the rain. Rain is dangerous for 65 different reasons. Everything from traction issues to the most extreme issue is visibility. And then I rode from Savannah, Georgia to just north of Atlanta on a day with rain, low temperatures in the 40s, and also 60-degree wind gusts, which I've done a lot of gusty riding, and I enjoy riding in a metaphysical sense, but riding is so physical, and I'm not getting younger, man. And riding a motorcycle in heavy gusts takes a lot of concentration, a lot of reaction response. So I rode a 3-hour trip to my next spot, and I weathered out there. The weather was in the 20s and 30s, and I hunkered down there because it was snowing on the road. Tennessee and Kentucky were getting a good bit of snow. And then after it was done snowing, had a clear day, and headed from Georgia just up into Tennessee. It started snowing again, so I did another night in Tennessee, and then after that finally had a nice clear day. The weather got up in the 60s, the sun was out, so all my black leather could soak up that sun, and I finally made it home. I'm not doing that again. This time I'm going to stay down in Florida, no matter how much I miss my family, and no matter how much I miss Rocco. One thing's nice is I'm grateful that my customers understand that this process takes time, and I didn't feel terribly rushed, and was able to take quite a few orders while I was on that last trip, and then come home and get them done in good time. Some of those orders were flexible, like, sent off like 10 at a time, 15 at a time to Floyd Howard Pruitt, and was constantly asking him, do you want to change what shapes you've ordered or anything like that? And we were able to tweak what he was getting so that it really matched what he wanted. And I am happy about that. So here's to the Tampa Pro. Also for Tampa Bro, I've got a nice place to stay in this one hotel I've stayed in before. Kind of a flea baggy hotel, but it's really easy to watch my bike from the room. Easy to park the bike where I can keep a good watch over it. And that hotel, I've been there twice now, 2 years in a row, so it feels like home. And my roommate is Brand QR on my feed. I won't use his real name. I actually punched his pseudonym into his deck today. And oh, this is a real feathery piece. I'm going to use this smoother piece as the top. All right. So this feathery piece is going to get double coated right here. This piece is real wobbly. I don't know, can you guys see the way the glue is spreading on this one? I'm going to have to use a lot of lateral strokes, and it's real feathery at the same time. So it's wobbly and feathery. And then get in here, get in there. I don't often have a piece that's this intense. That's good for you guys to see it, because it's a good example of a kind of piece of wood that would have been hyper sanded into a 1/25th thickness in order to go through a glue machine. But in just 40 seconds of roller work, I was able to get that to be tame. I'm going to load a little more on here, and I'm going to do the other side of it. You guys can't see this, but this is a great example. Look at how the glue is spreading on this here. It's patchy. It's got a patchy glue field on it, and that patchiness, is triggering my inner Bob Ross to come out and visit, because this is exactly the kind of piece that makes really strong boards, because it's so feathery. There's so much surface area, but it takes a little bit more glue to get this thing settled in, and because there's just so much more surface area in a rough and feathery piece of veneer. And also, it takes more time to make sure that I've really got this thing dialed into a nice glue coating before I put it under pressure. I really want that to work really well. So I'm making sure, and then I'm going to just run a quick roll over this. And then that one I pulled off earlier, I'm giving it a quick refresher. And there you guys go, because I hit you with the roller. And this is what you get when you try and do a video while you're supposed to be working. But I think you all can handle it. Nobody's mad at me, are they? Don't be mad at me, man. You mad, bro? All right, there's that. So a little bit of irregularity on this roll. This is the first board. I think I lost a minute or two on that, which is not good, not bad. Takes me 15 minutes usually to finish the glue work. I have a half hour of open work time, technically a half an hour. And I really love the good people who have helped me with my tech. Almost every single thing I do is because somebody has helped me do it. There's not a thing I do that isn't marked by the help of other people. I think a lot about my workshop, and all my electrical work was done by a guy who put in wonderful electrical work. It's simple. I mean, I didn't overwork him, I don't think, but that guy put in all code. Look how much more quickly a smooth piece of wood goes. That's why in mass production the wood is so much smoother. Here's a piece. It's got a lot of texture in the grain on this one. And I'll show you the trick when there's texture in the wood. This is a smooth piece, so I'm just using basic straight rolls. I spread the back, I spread the end, I spread the back, I spread the end, and then I get the part where my hand was holding, and then I do a nice light, make it all even. This one, I got to smear. I have to turn the roller and actually smear this one because it has a textured grain. Again, this is another piece, totally different from the wobbly one. This one's not feathery, it just has a deep linear cross grain that really takes more glue and it takes more attention. This is what factories can't do unless they have a person who's going to stand there and actually hand massage the glue into this kind of wood. Instead, they tend to simply plane the wood one more time. That thins the wood, and that's what makes your 1 to 2 week skateboard. And the brands just make up for it by advertising that your board shouldn't last more than a week if you're a true skater. In fact, almost every argument that hinges upon you being somehow legitimized in skateboarding is an argument that is designed to take money out of your pocket. Almost every single time something is, if you are a true skater, you're getting worked over for some dough. That whole authenticity push in skateboarding, that meritocracy of pretentious authenticity is all about market dollars. Make no bones about it. Your great saints of skateboarding culture are more than happy for you to purchase their products based on their what are they doing? They're helping you be more authentic by you, I don't know, buying factory crap. And I think I was doing a desk cast the other day, and I talked about Supreme and how I'm not mad at Supreme for being shallow and consumeristic. Just as much as you wouldn't be mad at someone who contracted a zombie plague, you know? But you still, you know, you may have loved your Aunt Sue, she got the zombie plague, but the way you treat her in the middle of the zombie apocalypse is not dictated by that affection. And when it comes to what's good for skateboarders, the first thing that's good for skateboarders is good skateboarding equipment. See, this piece has actually got a big crack in it, but because it's a lengthwise crack, it can go on an inner ply with no impact at all, especially since it's an impartial crack and it's got plenty of glue. That can go on the inside of the board with no problem at all. The press, I'm so happy that the press actually marries that up quite nicely and gets us a good bond. And I'm going to spend just a moment soaking that crack first, make sure it's fully penetrated, and then back to the normal. But there's so much glue goes through every single, oh my gosh, it's so rad what happens once they're in the press. It's super cool. So there's those, here's these. So R. Kelly is in the news. Did you guys see that? I mean, there's a big Terry Gross at Fresh Air just did a big thing on R. Kelly, and it made me think about the Olympic safe sport sanctions against members of USA Skateboarding who have been credibly alleged to have committed serious serious crimes against youth in regard to, and that's really gnarly. That's a mess. And I hope that someone in skate journalism will have the strength. Maybe I'll reach out to Tim Pool. Tim Pool would be a good one. Tim is a skater. You guys know Tim Pool? He's probably one of the few true independent journalists in the world. He's a real good journalist. Tim is wonderful. He's a left of center guy who he's a, I don't know, libertarian, moderate type of guy. He's a left of center, socially liberal, whatever. Tim does Timcast YouTube, and now he's on Minds.com, which I don't do anything with. I'm gonna reach out to Tim and see if he wants to spend a minute going where Jenkem and the others dare not go. In fact, if I see Jenkem reporters at the Tampa Pro, I think I'm gonna fire up a live cast and interview Jenkem about whether or not they have any plans to engage these serious, incredible allegations of heavy misconduct in skateboarding. You know, I am not talking about run-of-the-mill guys are kind of creepy sometimes stuff either. I'm talking about serious allegations that the DA didn't even want to even touch in California. Is weird. I got to read the DA's correspondence with the alleged victim of this. The alleged victim was on the pro circuit. You guys can go back in my videos and find out who it is and all that. But I'm really displeased. Here in Cincinnati, we had an attack against a 12-year-old girl that was perpetrated in part by one of our local skateboarding celebrities. He was a photographer, and he's in prison for a long time now. And I saw it with my own eyes as our DIY, our local DIY crew, they have a Facebook page. And the Facebook moderator said, we need to talk about this. We need to talk about this. And we do. We need to talk about those things. And then immediately they got completely shut down and told that nobody needs to talk about it. It's not going to be talked about. No one's going to talk about it. And I thought, you know, when there's a huge, impactful, life-destroying crime that happens in your local scene, y'all need to be able to talk about it without being afraid of being blacklisted from your scene. And we still need to talk about that because the Peter Martin incident in the Northern Kentucky Cincinnati skate scene is a serious incident. I ran into folks who were pretty confused about that whole situation. One guy even told me he didn't see why a guy was in jail for that, which really disturbed me. And you can't talk about that kind of thing. And if there won't be any press on it within our skateboarding communities, we're really in trouble. And I think we actually are really in trouble. I think we're in trouble. I think there's a lot of really bad stuff that's going to come out that's really going to hurt us, that we didn't have an open culture of discussion about those things. We need an open culture of critique and analysis in skateboarding. We need it very badly. I don't think the slap message boards are going to do it. We need journalists who are willing to dig in and dig up and dig out what's really going on. See what we're looking at. This is a nice piece here. And I had just the right amount of glue in my glue pot to finish this off. I love when that happens. Now, I guess I'm going on 10 years of rolling glue on boards now. If you include 2009, which was a year that I spent building my presses. And when I say building, I mean conceptualizing. And I had been researching for some years before that, but all my research had indicated that I couldn't do it. And I had no money. I built a half pipe for a friend of mine, and as a gift to me after I built a half pipe, he gave me like $1,500. I had a fabricator start working on my first press design, and it failed utterly. And I had basically lost all the money I started with on my first press. So I'm going to turn you guys around here so I can keep talking to you. I am enjoying talking. I don't know. It doesn't bother me that a lot of you aren't here, because you can watch it later if you wish to. Sure do get lonely in here. It is nice to have you guys just with me watching. And 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Check alignment. Looks good, looks good. Looks good, looks good. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And 1, 2, 3. Tight. And this one's tight. So move to the second length of lever. We go 1 on this side, and then we're going to go 1, 2 on that side, and then we're going to go 1, 2 on this side, and 1. Oh, that's nice and snug. 2 on that side, and then we're going to go 1 on this side, try another one, and we're snug for the length of the first lever. Second lever now. There we go. And now the third lever, nice and long. Steel bar. All tightened in there. Sorry, I love you guys. I'm sorry I'm jiggling you around. There it is. Rough hewn molds. I don't do a lot to make the molds look pretty. I could always edge them with some paint or some wood edging or like that. It's really not my style. And then you guys probably know proper care. For those of you who don't, you take this bad boy and take a piece of plastic. I've been using the same bag just forever. You put your bag down, drop your roller on it, fold it back nice and tight, and you fold it in, just like how you learned to make your Christmas wrapping for your Aunt Sally before she caught the zombie plague. And then you just wrap that up. That's done. And this is largely dry in here now. I mean, it's empty, it's not dry, it's still tacky. I'm going to put some of this in here just to keep it fresh. Then I take a piece of plastic, put that down, take a piece of wood, that down, and I'm going to be refilling my single gallon out of my 55 gallon in a little while here, but I've been using the same single gallon to separate from the 55 so I have easy pouring for like, I don't know, like 4 years. Been using the same bucket. These are some sweet samples from Spectrum Adhesive for me. Super high quality glues. Every drop of these is going to make terrific boards. I'm going to be sampling Spectrum products for the next little while. My rep is Chad Carney. He came by and he missed me that day. I was out doing something, hopefully skateboarding, and Arnold Mendiola's here. The party just started. Yeah, so let me show you what I got over here. Just mentioned it earlier, but all my team riders are getting this sweet graphic on some shirts. If you guys would like one of those shirts, why don't you DM me? They come out looking pretty sweet. They're not an official product, so I don't really talk them up much, because the day I get a C&D, I won't. I shouldn't, because that is not Don Knotts' face, but God bless. Yeah, that's on the back. I think I'm wearing one right now. Am I, everybody? Am I wearing a Sheriff Barney shirt right now? Yep, I am. Yeah, I put mine really low on my shirt. I was just playing around. But here's my next step tonight is doing graphics on all these. I'll start with the tail graphic, and then I'll go into the specific ordered graphics for each one. And yeah, the Barney shirt means a lot to me, because we've needed a new sheriff in town for a while here in the Midwest. And I don't have, I was listening to Gary Vaynerchuk the other day. Okay, I'm going to switch you guys out right now from this kit. Switching you out of this one. I'm going to switch you into this one. This is a broken automobile clip-on that I just hung in here. In here I've got, let's see, I've got the UK5. I've got 2 of the UK5 in here. I have still got that 8-ply 9-inch punk point. I'd really like to sell that to someone who wants it. Jared over at Drang Boards told me that the addition of 1 extra ply, a 7th more, equals 100% increase, double the strength. I don't know. I don't do the math like that. But you guys, I showed you this before, and this is my cruiser board that I'm playing around on. I'm going to screen Kookwood on it maybe one of these days. Probably not. But I'm going to switch these wheels out for a set of these Butterballs. I have 2 sets in the house, and I'm going to do that. And I'm tempted to bring it with me to Tampa. I don't like riding with 2 boards on my bike. It's a lot to keep out of the water. I did that for one of my Texas trips, and it was not. I didn't ride the ditch board enough to justify it. But hey, I got to get into the, yeah, broke, alas, Chris Castle. I know the feeling. But I'm gonna make some cuts. I'm gonna see if I can throw the last 3 boards in tonight around 11 before I go home. Then tomorrow morning I teach karate. Then my truck was in the shop all week, and I had to run back and forth about my truck because my mechanic, who is wonderful, sometimes it helps if I bring him something, like if I buy the parts and bring them in. I love having a mechanic that you can actually bring parts to. So I'll be bringing I got my truck back, and now my little blue car, my wife's car, is in because it has real bad tires. So I'm going to go pick up some tires for my mechanic, and after karate tomorrow morning, and then I'm going to I'm going to come into the workshop tomorrow, and I'm going to press another round of boards, and I've got boards up here ready to cut. I've got boards in there that are curing, and on Tuesday I will be making cuts and finishing up graphics on a whole bunch of stuff that will already be in graphics and shipping. And on Tuesday I hope to be running boards out. David will ship anything I have to leave behind for shipping, because David is my partner and he helps out. And but I think I'll have everything all buttoned up outside of the wheel well deck for before my trip. Friends, thank you for spending time in the workshop with me today. I've had more and more. Oh, tomorrow I have a couple, the sweetest local couple coming in, and they are going to design their own decks here with me tomorrow. So I'm excited about that too, which means I need to throw 3 into the longboard press too. Wow, how am I supposed to cure those out? I'll figure out all this stuff later. It'll be fine. But lead times and whatnot. And I appreciate all of you who spent time with me in here, and I hope to see you guys out there on the roads and at the parks and in the spots and at the curbs and like that. And I'm nervous because I'm about to go on a real big trip. I always am. Usually can't sleep the night before, which is really counterproductive. And but I will be at you later. Thanks everybody for joining, and as always, hi Mom, I love you.